So, white people. Question. What does it feel like to be white? Especially if you're white in America.
Imagine being a race that you're not allowed to be proud of. That's how it feels to be white.
It is incredibly frustrating. Incredibly frustrating because
I'm a lightly melanated male, I'm automatically a racist and a misogynist. Automatically. Don't even have to open my mouth. I'm automatically assumed to be, some kind of person's maps. Or I'm automatically a predator of the female gender. Or that I grew up with.
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for choosing us today. On today's episode, we cover a black woman who is asking a very simple but powerful question. How does it feel to be white, especially in America? So many white people came out and gave her many answers, and you'll be surprised at what they have to say. So guys, if you're new, kindly consider subscribing. Leave me a comment what you think about today's video. So let's dive into the video. I'm gonna come back and give my commentary after this.
So, white people. Question. What does it feel like to be white? Especially if you're white in America. I mean, if you're not in America and you're white, you can answer this question, but especially if you're white and American, how does that feel? I know, being a black person, especially a black woman, one of the biggest issues is that we're always exhausted carrying our entire race on our backs. We always feel like a monolith, even though we're not a monolith, and that one of us can mess up and it would make the entire race look bad. And I'm sure it's the same way for Mexicans and, indigenous people, but I never hear white people talk about stuff like that. So let me know. Stitch, duet, whatever. But how does it feel?
it is incredibly frustrating. Incredibly frustrating because you feel responsible for things that you didn't do, and you're responsible for things that you could be doing and aren't doing to make things better. Because let's be honest, white people could end racism instantly, and we haven't. So there's that. There's knowing that you are at least partially responsible. You could be the person out there defending people of all different types, fighting racism left and right. You could be doing everything that you think you could do, and you're never really doing what you should be doing, and you know that. And we don't all, but a lot of us know that. So it's incredibly frustrating and sometimes embarrassing. It's when I see white people out here just being racist as fuck. It is embarrassing to be white. Some of us are not happy about it. There's nothing to be proud of. I don't understand these people. Well, they're proud to be white. What are you proud of? You're proud that you're oppressing other people, or that you are of a racial group that oppresses other people, because the white race historically oppresses other people. And I know there's people from other countries that are white that will come and chime in and no, we didn't do it, but the original poster said people in America, and that's what I'm addressing. I mean, this country was stolen by white people, and then people of color were forced to come over here by white people. So frustrating, is the only word that I can think of. Just really, really frustrating. It's the best way I could describe it.
What does it feel like to be white? Especially if you're white in America.
Imagine being a race that you're not allowed to be proud of. That's how it feels to be white. If I was to make a post on Facebook and I said I'm proud to be white, I'd be the most racist person there was. That's how it feels to be white. Imagine being blamed for things you were not even a part of. That's how it feels to be white. We have all these occasions throughout the year. We have Black History Month. We have Juneteenth. We have Pride Month. If we was to celebrate being white, that'd be a no-go. That's how it feels to be white. You have your cable channels. You have BET, Black Entertainment. If we created a channel that was called WET, White Entertainment, that'd be a no-go. That's how it feels to be white. If we speak up on racism, we're hated by some of our own kind and other races. That's how it feels to be white. Have the day you deserve.
What does it feel like to be white?
Bitch, what? What do you mean white people? It's fucking hot, sticky, I'm clammy, I need another shower.
Question. What does it feel like to be white?
You know how when you go and buy a pair of scissors, those scissors are made for right-handed people? Like, people who are left-handed can use those scissors, even though they're made for right-handed people. They're just very clearly not ergonomically made for them. And like, you could make scissors for left-handed people, and you could actually go and find scissors made for left-handed people. It's just a lot more difficult. It's like being right-handed and everything is scissors.
So, white people. Question. What does it feel like to be white?
Hi, so you asked what it's like to be a white person in America. So, being a white person in America put me in foster care, group homes, a very abusive mother. Her husband molested me from the time I was 8 till I was 9. From 8 to 13. Been hungry, homeless, been denied for food stamps, been denied for welfare, been denied for homes, been denied for Section 8, been denied for a lot of things. I've had to work my whole life, no college. I don't get into a college because I'm white. I don't get a job because I'm white. There's no programs for me because I'm white. And if there is, please let me know, because there is none. So, being a white girl in America, worrying about men trying to grape me, worrying about walking outside at nighttime and don't know if somebody's going to do something to me, walking down the street, walking down a sidewalk that I lived at, down the street from where I lived at, and got spit on because I was white, and they said I was in the wrong neighborhood when I lived down the street my whole life. They did it on purpose. They did it because they didn't like my skin color. So yeah, that's what I feel like.
What does it feel like to be white? Especially if you're white in America.
Well, I'll answer that with being white male, or as I prefer to be called, lightly melanated. As a lightly melanated male in the U.S., I absolutely love how, because I'm a lightly melanated male, I'm automatically a racist and a misogynist. Automatically. Don't even have to open my mouth. I'm automatically assumed to be, some kind of, person's maps. Or I'm automatically a predator of the female gender. Or that I grew up with privilege. I love these assumptions. I absolutely love them. If you can't tell, that's sarcasm, by the way. I think it's ridiculous how nowhere in my genealogy has anybody of my line owned a slave. But if I were to live in California, I would probably be by now be expected to start paying reparations to the very well melanated community because I'm not well melanated. I have a small issue with that, obviously, because my family comes from dirt poor. We couldn't afford to have servants back in the 1800s. we worked alongside the well-melanated individuals because it was a job. It paid. Now, as far as the white privilege goes, when I was in high school, I was the poor white boy. Because both my parents worked their butts off. I didn't go into my junior year with my driver's license and a brand new BMW. Many of my classmates did because their daddies were lawyers. And mommy could stay home. And their family lived in a $750,000 house 20 years ago. Whereas my family, just prior to me getting into high school, had moved into, at the time, a $200,000 house. Less than $250,000. At its peak, during, all of our great stuff, my family's home was valued at one point of just shy of a $500,000 house. But guess who took care of it? Me and my dad. We did our maintenance on it. We took care of the yard. Matter of fact, I took that lawnmower and, took my white privilege and mowed neighbors' yards. Because that was the GoFundMe back in the day. So, easy answer is, we're sick of the double standard. As a lightly melanated community, we're sick of that double standard. As a lightly melanated male, y'all put so many standards on us, it's not even funny. I'm going gray and I'm not even 40 yet. I know, ranting. I apologize. But you asked a question, I try to answer. If you'd like more, please let me know.
So, white people, question. What does it feel like to be white?
So, I want to answer your question, but the first one is, yes, I'm white, and yes, I live in America. I'm not overseas, trust me, I live in good old America right now. The main thing that I deal with personally, or I've dealt with personally, is being labeled racist when I've never done anything to be racist to, others at all. Like, I guess it's because of what our ancestors did or whatever, because I know the whole history on it or whatever, but we automatically get pre-labeled as racist. And if you really think about it, that's racist in itself against whites, just because of what other whites did. But also, you gotta remember, too, as well, there was other colored peeps that were racist as well against their own kind. And it wasn't just whites. It was, from my understanding, it was Mexicans and whites and blacks and all that. They kind of all got in on it together, but that was before my time. But me over here personally, I don't see color, as they call it. I don't care. I have many friends of different shapes, sizes, colors, whatever, and I don't care what your ethnicity is or your race is. I'm friends with everybody. I don't have a problem with that. I just hate being pre-labeled. And it sucks being pre-labeled like that. Like, blacks talk about how they get pre-labeled because they're black or whatever, is automatically putting racism out there. That's not the case over here, ladies and gentlemen. It's really not. We don't really care. At least from my household, we don't really care what color, shape, or you are. You're good to us, we're good to you. You bless us, we bless you. We're there for you. That's just how we roll. We're not that type of household at all here. I can't speak for others, but that's just us personally. And just like, we always get accused of trying to steal other people's cultures and stuff like that, because somehow the way we do our hair, if we braid it, we're stealing something. If we wear something on our head, we're stealing something. That's not the case. I mean, honestly, I envy those who can wear different wigs and do their hair differently, because I just think it's so pretty. I really do. Like, I really loved the skin tone and the skin color and stuff. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, it's so unique and beautiful. Like, honestly, I wished I was mixed with something other than just being white, because it would be awesome to have a tan year round or be something different, you know. But I'm blessed for what I am, and I'm happy for what I am, and it's cool to see all these different, you know, cultures and stuff coming together, you know, and seeing different things and stuff.
All right, there you have it, folks. And you had a lot of white people come out and answer this question. How does it feel to be white, especially in America? Well, what do I think? I think it feels very cozy, very comfortable, and very privileged to be white in America, you know. And a lot of people had different opinions of what they have gone through, you know, suffering just because of their skin color being white. But I don't think it compares to what Black people have gone through over the years, over history, and are still actually going through even today, living in America as Black people. All the police brutality, the profiling, all the prejudice, you know, that comes with being Black in America, you know, that can never compare with what a white man has to go through when they're living in America. But that doesn't say that white people always have it easy and they don't have, you know, different challenges of being white. Some of the challenges actually were mentioned in this video, where you can actually find so many people be prejudged actually to be, you know, racist, when they are not actually, because they are not given the benefit of the doubt just because they have the lightly melanated skin color, even a little bit of dislike against a melanated person or a Black man or woman would actually, you know, make them to be racist, you know. And one woman came out and said that if white people wanted, they would actually end racism in America in just a flash of a bit. Why? Because if all of them come together, go out on the streets, protest, go into, you know, the government offices and change all the rules, all the prejudice, remove all the white privileges that exist in America, they could actually end all that kind of racism that exists in America, especially systematic racism. So guys, and another person said, you know, when we come out and we want to braid our hair just like Black people do, we are told that we are stealing cultures. You know, the problem is not that you are stealing culture. The problem is you don't give credit to the culture that braiding comes from. In 10 or 20 generations to come, you're gonna own that and call it your own. You're gonna call it your own invention. You're gonna call it your own culture. It wasn't your culture to begin with. So if you're gonna braid your hair just like other cultures do, especially Black people, then you should give credit where that culture comes from. Don't be stealing culture, because we know what has happened in history. You know, white people going all over the world and stealing cultures, all the way to India, even stealing spices from India and calling these cultures their own, and even stealing some of the many sculptures in Africa, taking them back to places like London and putting them in their museum, and they have not been repatriated or returned to where they were stolen from. So we know the history. It's not about you actually doing braids from another culture. It's about not giving credit where that culture comes from. So I don't think being white in America compares to being Black in America. But what do you think about that, guys? Let me know in the comment section what you think about this video today. Thank you very much for watching this far. And if you're not subscribed, kindly consider subscribing to my channel for more videos like this. Like the video, it helps with the YouTube algorithm. And as always, guys, see you on the next episode.